the last two albums, Turns Electric and Five Crooked Lines, when those come out, are you feeling the pressure post Paralyzer and the success of that album and that single? Are you feeling just a ton of pressure to recreate that, or do you feel like you kind of have free reign now, like you've had that success and you can do what you want moving forward?
I think there was a little bit of both, to be honest. There was definitely pressure. Music at that time was very like single oriented. Like iTunes was out, like it was very much about the song. So I can say for sure on Life Turns Electric, we adopted like a pop rock kind of mentality to the songwriting. There was like I don't think any song's over 4 minutes long. You know, everything's very concise and like straight to the point. There's not a lot of downtime in the songs. I can honestly say that's what we were going for at the time. When I hear that record, there's some good songs on it. There's some songs where I feel like we missed the mark, and I think but we actually got to do that record ourselves, produce it ourselves. We didn't have anybody in the studio telling us what to do, so we did have an A&R guy that was heavily involved on that record, but we did have a lot of fun making that record. Just started just doing whatever we wanted to do, you know. But I don't know if we have I don't know if we never were really concerned with following our own thing. Like that's why we never made Greatest of Blue Skies again. It's why we just didn't try and write another one thing after one thing. It's not really how we approach making music. So when we were making that record, we were aware of how big Paralyzer was. But Paralyzer was still obviously Paralyzer was still probably big enough to not have to worry about it because it was unless whatever. So we just made that record with the 10 rock songs we had. I like that record. One thing I love about Life Turns Electric is it's sonically probably our best sounding record. Like it was mixed by Chris Lord-Alge. Living in a Dream was
Legend.
produced by Rich Costi. Like, those were massive mixers, and they made that record sound like a big dumb rock record, which was what we were going for. At that point in our lives too, we were really heavily into classic rock. Like really listened to a lot of classic rock when we made Life Turns Electric, and I think you can hear it in the records.
I found that Five Crooked Lines was quite a bit heavier than the previous two albums. Do you agree with that? And if so, what do you think accounts for that aggression? And Rick, why were you so angry in 2015?
Why was I angry? I don't know. Was I angry?
No, I'm just saying for the aggression that came through on that album, just the heavier album.
Well, that I think there was a bit of like just wanting to go back to our roots as far as guitar players and riffs and that kind of thing, definitely a desire to be less polished than the last record that we just made. And no one was watching us make that record again. So we sort of were free to do whatever we want. And there was definitely no single-minded songwriting on that record. Everything was just what it was. The songs came out however they were going to come out. So, but I think, just a desire to be heavy again was probably just a natural, like, guitar player thing. I was tired of playing power chords and chunking away on the guitar. It was like, let's write some riffs. And I think that record, like Save Your Breath, to me is like, people keep asking us to write heavy music, and I feel like it's like if you listen to a song called Save Your Breath on Five Crooked Lines, I don't know if we're gonna write a heavier song than that ever again in our lives. Like, that's the heavy, as far as how Scott screams and yells and how low the guitars are tuned, and it's just like, I don't know what people are looking for, but that to me is one of the heaviest songs we've written. And Come On Oblivion is one of my favorite songs we've ever written. I feel like that's a song we've been trying to write for a long time.
I actually love the first single, the Wolves Indoors. I really like that album as a whole, Five Crooked Lines. But that first single, I thought, has that edge going back to Grace of Blue Skies or the self-titled album.
I agree with you. And so one of the cool things about that record too is that we did it with Dave Cobb, and I don't know if you know who Dave Cobb is, but at the time he was just becoming really well known because he had done what's the name of the band?
Can you name any other music?
Sons is the second word. Not I can't remember. Rival Sons. Rival Sons. Okay. So he had just put out a Rival Sons record, which was like a big classic rock sounding like 70s thing, and he had just put out Sturgill Simpson,
Nice.
So we were all blown away by that Sturgill Simpson record. We're like, whoa, look what this guy can do with country music. Let's go see if it'll work with us, and we'll do to our rock music. We'll get him to take us out of our comfort zone and put us somewhere else. And that's what he did. But that was a cool experience, man. We made that record really fast. We had done a lot of writing, so a lot of the songs have been written, but the recording and the approach and a lot of vocals, a lot of last minute tweaks made that record really special. So, and then right after we left, I remember him saying, "Wait till you hear this record I'm making with this guy named Chris Stapleton, man. It's killer." And I was like, "Oh, that'll be cool, man. I can't look forward to it." And ever since, I think since we worked with him, he's won like 11 Grammys. He's produced like Brandy Carlisle, John Prine. Like he's just superstar now, man. I still text him once in a while, but he's a good dude, and he's just a musical monster. Such a talented guy. I think he just did a couple songs with that band, the Crownlands, whatever. So, yeah.
Amazing.
But that record was what we were looking to make when we made it. We just wanted something that was not attempting to be a pop rock record,